What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. I hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. So, my homie Nana KB, he sent me this story on Instagram. It was from Sean Cotton, aka Say Cheese TV, better known as Say Cheese TV. And Say Cheese TV posted this clip, or there's not a clip, a picture of people in line fighting over the Air Jordan shoe, the Cool Gray 9s. So Air Jordan just released the Cool Gray 9s, and they sold out quickly. This story was posted yesterday. They sold out quickly this morning. I don't know where this location was, but you had people fighting in the lines about the shoe. And my first thought was, damn, it's 2025. Motherfuckers still fighting over Jordans? Like, Mars is still battling it out, ready to leave each other battered and bloody about Jordan shoes. This is crazy, right? This is wild. This is preposterous. Now, to me, this is always going to be crazy because I'm simply not waiting in line for no shoes. I'm not waiting in a long line. This has never been me. And I'll always tell this story about why that's not me. Growing up, my parents could not afford for me to be a sneakerhead. So I never was into sneakerhead culture because I knew when I started school, I was going to get 3 pair of shoes throughout the year, not even at a time. I probably was going to start off the year with 2 shoes, a pair of all white shoes, a pair of all black shoes to simply match all my outfits. I was never a guy to get a lot of colorful shoes because I knew I needed something to match the outfits that I had because my parents couldn't afford to buy me 5-6 pairs of shoes throughout the year. So I needed a pair of all white Air Force Ones, a pair of black Nikes, somehow, whatever pair of Nikes, was that I thought was clean. And then I would get me a pair of wheat Timbs for the year, right? So because of that, I never got into sneaker culture. I never was like trying to, even when I got to college and was having my own money through work study and refund checks, I never bought into real sneaker culture. In fact, the only pair of Jordans I've had in my adult years came from my homie Kiefer Sykes. Kiefer then gave me 4-5 pairs of Jordans. I've never bought Jordans with my own hard-earned money because I just was not a sneakerhead because of the way I grew up and because my people not being able to afford these shoes. Like Jordan shoes be $230, $240 and shit. I just knew my people could not be coming out that type of bread for shoes. And again, when I got older, I still just never had interest in being a sneakerhead. But where I come from, people sneakerheads for Chicago, Michael Jordan playground for real. Like, yeah, this Jordan shoe, it's still a cultural phenomenon, not even just in Chicago, across the world for real, and the United States in general. But to be fighting over the shoe is just crazy. I remember back in the day when I was a kid, my father, like, Jordan used to get criticized. I remember my father's friend, he's a big Michael Jordan fan. He would criticize Mike for only producing limited shoes for people to have in the hood. And he's like, why he don't just make enough shoes for it to be accessible for everybody? Why are the shoes only made in limited stock? Like, why is that a thing where people are out here killing each other and taking each other's lives for these shoes? But at the same time, you can't just outright blame Michael Jordan because you can't blame him for people wanting to take other people's lives and harm each other for the shoe. You know what I mean? That's just, it's a little deeper than just, the limited shoe sales. It's a little deeper than that too. Well, I guess it can be directly related to the limited amount of shoes because at a point, the Jordan shoe became a status symbol in the hood. I mean, I can't outright blame Michael Jordan for people taking people's lives. Like, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to blame him for that at all. It's just people just losing morality for material possessions. You know what I mean? But the Air Jordan team making the shoes limited made it a status symbol. It made the shoe more valuable in a way because you knew everybody wasn't going to have it. And so with that being said, knowing that everybody couldn't get the shoe, a lot of heinous stuff happened across hoods in America. My uncles and them grew up telling me stories about people being robbed at the bus stop for their Jordans, people being robbed on the train, people being robbed going down the street, at the park for their Jordans. Jordans and starter jackets, people were robbed heavily for. You know what I mean? In the 80s and 90s, so on and so forth. But And you saw people fighting about shoes and lines going for years and years. But to me, to be doing this shit now is just like, come on now. What are we? This is just wild. This is crazy. This is ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, fam. We not really finna tussle about these damn Jordan shoes like that. Like, it's just more to life tend to be fighting over that. All this stuff going on in this world, cost of living increasing, landlords increasing rent, the jobs not trying to match your salary with the cost of living increase. Everybody really looking for need multiple streams of revenue to really survive out here, especially if you living on your own. It's crazy out here, man. Like, and to be fighting over some shoes, that is just preposterous to me. And maybe I believe this because I'm 32 years old now. I'm a grown man. I have children. I have responsibilities. I got bills to pay, so on and so forth. So I'm looking at life in a completely different way. But I'm just like, yo, what? That's really what we own right now? We really finna fight about some shoes? But I will say, man, the Jordan shoe, Nike did an outstanding job marketing this shoe. For real. And it was marketed based upon the brilliance of Michael Jordan. The Air Jordan shoe was released, November 7th? No, Michael Jordan first wore the Air Jordan 1 shoe in his 11th basketball game of his career on November 17th, 1984. Right? That's when the shoe first debuted on the court, Michael Jordan wearing the shoe. And then the shoe was released to the public on April 1st, 1985. The shoe sold tremendously well because Mike was just that phenomenal as a basketball player, right? Like, he averaged 28 a game his rookie season, which is unheard of at that time. Shooting efficiently from the field. You know what I mean? And so jumping through the gym, he was jumping through the roof and also putting up outstanding scoring numbers. It was just, he was a spectacular show to watch. And so when you partner his playing ability with the marketing campaign behind him, if I could be like Mike, I want to be like Mike. Then you had Spike Lee pairing with Michael Jordan. Is it the shoes? It's got to be the shoes. It's got to be the shoes. Mars Blackman, their whole pitch paired with Michael Jordan's outstanding ability on the court, it made the shoe a worldwide phenomenon where everybody wanted to have the shoe. And it didn't hurt. The shoes were cool. They were nice. They were fly shoes. You know what I mean? The fact that, because if the shoe was ugly, it wasn't going to sell. If it looked like them Kobe 2s that y'all showed me, I never knew nothing about because I'm not into sneakerhead culture. But when y'all showed me them Kobe Bryant 2s that look like toasters or NASA shoes, space astronaut shoes, if it looked like that, it wasn't going to work. But the fact that Michael Jordan's shoe was sleek, it was cool, it was fly, it made the shoe more desirable along with him and his playing style. You know, and Nike knew what they were doing. They knew what they had in him as an athlete. And this shoe is still popular to this day, even though these kids have never seen Michael Jordan play. Because the shoe is just, it became a staple of the hood. It was a status symbol. If you had Jordans on in the hood, it looked like your people had some money. You know, to a point where people were made fun of if you had some off-brand Jordan shoe. If you only could get it became a thing where kids in my era were making fun of kids who only had new Jordans on Christmas. Oh, you only can get the Jordans on Christmas. You only getting it Christmas. You're not getting it any other time of the year. Kids started making fun of kids who weren't able to get the Jordans without it being a certain time of the year where everybody got gifts. If you couldn't get the Jordan shoe year round, you were a clown. Like, I get Jordans, and the Jordans I get don't only come on Christmas. That shit became a thing, man. Growing up in the hood of Chicago, like, having a Jordan shoe meant, like, even though we all living in the same hoods, we all got the same problems. None of us well off. But having that Jordan shoe made it seem like you were doing better than everybody else in the hood. And so people, it's kind of like how Louis Vuitton and Gucci and all these other high-end designer clothing, it became a status symbol that people would die to have just to say they got it, to look like they were somebody of importance. And that's what the shoe became. And then people start really out here trying to take people's lives for the shoe. People were willing to put their life on the line to keep the shoe. You know what I mean? You saw, but really the people that should be judged is people trying to take people's lives and robbing people for the shoe. It got out of control. And in 2025, fighting over a Jordan shoe, fighting in lines, that shit it gotta stop. It has to stop For real, man. But yeah, man. When I was born in '93, by that point, the Air Jordan shoe had taken off. I believe, and I looked this up, the Jordan shoe that came out in '93 was the Jordan 8 shoe, right? And again, I don't even know I'm a person, I don't even know the number Jordans, like the 8s, the 4s, and I don't know none of that. Cause I'm not a sneakerhead, but my homies and them, they know it, especially my homie Kiefer that was a hooper. He got a lot of free shoes. So, and he got a lot of money from being an athlete, you know what I mean? So he wouldn't know and be able to keep up with these shoes and all of that, and we didn't have growing up, we didn't have the funds, and then when I got to college, I wasn't an athlete getting free shoes, so I didn't never keep up with it like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, like the Jordan shoe has been a staple of the hood, and it's had many people in the hood. It gave people a status symbol, and it still does to this day, to where people are proud to say that they got these Jordan shoes over a lot of other things in life. But again, the brilliance of Michael Jordan's basketball play, along with the marketing, made this shoe sell the way it did. When you think about Michael Jordan as a player, man, averaging 37 a game in his third year in the league. His MVP seasons, he's shooting 53, 52% from the field, which is extraordinarily high. That is outstanding for a two guard to be shooting 53, 52%, especially when he's getting busy in the mid-range. You know what I mean? All that type of stuff. That just shows you what type of dynamic player he was for real. And to be shooting 49% from the field for your career as a two guard is exceptional. He was scoring at a high clip, but he was efficient while doing it. And he was spectacular while doing it, flying through the air, crazy dunks, switching hands mid-air, half spins, turning around, dunking on folks. That was it was an incredible thing for people to witness, especially I can say in Chicago. I didn't witness it myself. I only remember Michael Jordan's '98 year with the Chicago Bulls because I was 5 years old at the time, and I would be sitting on the couch watching the games with my dad. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that shoe, it's done a lot for Michael Jordan's pockets, but the shoe has caused a lot of drama in the hood. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to even blame it on the shoe. At this point, man, why? I can't even just blame it on Michael Jordan. Brothers got to stop fighting over silly shit, dumb shit. You know what I mean? I'm like Wallow right now. Stop the dumb shit. At some point, it's way more stuff for us to be fighting about and standing on front lines about than the Jordan shoe. I understand you want a shoe. Now, again, somebody trying to take your shoe, cool, but to be fighting in the line because you feel like you want to get the Jordan shoe before somebody else, that's just crazy. And again, I'm just not standing in line for no shoes. It's just not in me to do that. And you could blame it on me growing up in a situation where my people couldn't afford certain stuff. It probably is what it is, and I just never got connected to it, but I just can't be doing that, man. And that's just me. And we as black people got to do better because it's not that serious. Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm out, y'all. Peace.